agenda. Are there any changes or additions to the agenda? Hearing none, then the agenda is adopted as printed. Item number 3, board elections. So according to our policies, at our first meeting in July, we do elect a board chair and a board vice chair. Therefore, we do have a quorum present. 2 of our members are absent, but there are 5 of us here. So we can go ahead and have our elections unless there are any objections and desiring to wait till our next meeting. In that case, then I will call for nominations for the position of chairman of the board for this next school year.
I nominate Pat Warnock for chairman.
I second it.
We should not maybe put it on here.
That's what I was thinking. I really was thinking that.
Okay, it's been moved. Are there any other nominations? Okay, it's been moved and seconded that Pat Warnock be elected as board chair. All those in favor? Motion carries. The next item is the election of a vice chairperson for the next school year. Do I hear any nominations?
Do we know if Dustin or Nick are interested? Do we want to just nominate him?
Now that I'm here.
Do it. I nominate Susie Ramos.
Susie has been nominated. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Are there any other nominations for vice chairperson? Hearing none, then the nominations are closed. All in favor of Susan for vice chairman, raise your hands. Motion carries. Congratulations, Susie.
Yes.
The next item on our agenda are facilities update.
Perfect, thank you. And I would be remiss to say, go USA. So, yes, they just started 5 minutes ago.
They scored?
No, they just started, it's still 0-0, which is good.
Who's winning?
Good.
0-0.
Yeah, America's winning, sir. Yeah. I've asked Bennington Construction or Bryce to give us an update on the cafeteria roof HVAC system, that whole remodel, and then Jesse to give us an update on the other construction projects. Just kind of give us a brief, so I'm going to turn it over to Bryce.
Very good. Well, we took possession of the bid documents from SC Architects for this cafeteria renovation here a month or so ago, and last Thursday received bids and have put this final bid result estimate together for you. So let's start, if you flip back to the last couple, 3 pages there. Alan Ulorn is our pre-construction manager. He broke this project down into 12 bid packages to break up the scope of work. Having worked with us before, we put together bid packages for each of the scopes to really define the scope of work that each of those contractors is doing. What we're trying to do is take away any of the gray areas so that there's not the finger pointing back and forth on who's doing that. So we get all that cleared up ahead of time, so when we know we're receiving these bids for these scopes of work, we know, number one, they're apples to apples with their competition, and number two, that they've got all the scope covered to try and minimize any what we all hate, the change orders. So, going through these packages, we got a couple of cabinet bids, both from guys that we worked with an awful lot. Veritop's out of Emmett, Jocelyn's right out of the Boise area. It's actually pretty nice to see Jocelyn on something for a change. They've been so busy, they really haven't been much work. So we're happy that Jocelyn got in there and gave us a good number on that. We did 4 roofing bids. We actually expected another 1 or 2 beyond that, but a couple of guys at the last minute just decided that the roof is planned to start happening as soon as we can get materials on site and start getting that roof redone. It's in rough shape. So that, it's got a lot shorter fuse and everybody's just really busy right now. So getting 4 bids was still pretty amazing. Signature came in very competitive. JB spent quite a bit of time up front on the bidding, so we were thinking they were probably gonna have a competitive advantage, but Signature snuck in under them too, and they have confirmed that they're good with their number and ready to get going on the project. Doors, frames, and hardware just had the 1 bid from DNA Door and Specialties, which wasn't a surprise. Part of the challenge just crossing the river into Oregon is just getting guys that are up to date on their Oregon licenses, and they've got to be able to submit a bond to the BOLI office, and they've got to deal with the BOLI wages and everything. So it gets a little more difficult. Oh, I also failed to mention, Alan did, in gray, put a lot of the other folks that he was talking to and soliciting. We haven't publicly advertised to anybody that you know could bid it, that's licensed and everything. So these are other folks that he had reached out to and solicited and talked to, but just at the end of the day couldn't get a number from him. The operable partition is more of a specialty item. It is kind of at the back of the cafeteria there. Right now there's a much bigger operable partition that's been there for a long time. That area is going to get reconfigured. There's going to be a smaller room with actual doors and frames, and then that'll just be one little section. So we're replacing that with a smaller door. One door. Who's the only bidder on that? Northwest Interiors, again, drywall contractor. Most of their scope's going to be in the kitchen next summer. They have all of the demolition in their scope, and then putting all the new walls up, and then re-sheetrocking all the lids.
So we're not doing any of that this year?
Everything. No, we wouldn't be able to do any of that this year, because there's no way to be able to get the kitchen open back up for fall out. So what is planned for this year, if you weren't aware, is doing the re-roof and replacing the HVAC equipment. The only part of the HVAC equipment that wouldn't get replaced this fall, that'll happen next summer, will be the main kitchen hood, because it'll just be too disruptive for the kitchen itself. So we've got kind of 2 phases. We've got this fall phase and next summer's phase. And a lot of the summer, the stuff for that kitchen, a lot of it has long leads, especially with cabinetry and kitchen equipment. Things like HVAC hoods and stuff, they take time to get. So even if we were to cut them all loose right now, I bet we wouldn't see a lot of that stuff till the end of the year or first of next. So Northwest Interiors is a contractor we really enjoy working with. We're glad to see them jump in on that. We were pushing real hard to get somebody, because it's an interesting scope of work, just because we're tearing some walls down, putting some new walls up. It's just kind of patchwork scope. They were the contractor we worked with on the high school before, when we had to do all that hard work and everything. So we feel good about them. Floor covering, we just have to do some new rubber base. So it's a real small package. Alan just threw a $2,000 allowance in there, and as we kind of get that defined, we can find somebody that'll come in here. It may just be Bennington that ends up installing it. We may just have to buy the base and just install it. It's not a big deal whatsoever. So we can work through that. Epoxy flooring, this was an interesting one. We did get 3 bids on bid day. We knew immediately Patriot Floors had to have had something going on that just was not correct, as low as they were. This is for the epoxy in the kitchen, so that entire kitchen will have new epoxy flooring. Diamond Finish Floors, after we quizzed them on their number, because we were really hoping they had it covered, didn't have any of the BOLI wages or bond for Oregon covered. So they overlooked all of that as many times as we pointed out to them in bid docs. Concergo is a good bid. They're doing quite a bit of work for us this summer. So we are carrying Concergo, and we're in good shape. Adam Rowe and Colorcraft, we got 2 bids on the painting. Have worked with both of those folks an awful lot. They were good type bids. And Adam Rowe is comfortable with his number. Bargreen Ellingson on kitchen equipment. They were the only ones that ended up providing a price. I really thought Commercial Kitchens was gonna get in on it, but just didn't end up at the end of the day. I don't know what their decision was, but they didn't give us a bid. ACO Engineered Systems, who we are working with quite a bit right now. They came in well on the plumbing side of things. Alden Mechanical didn't cover the addendum, which had quite a bit of plumbing scope in it, and had some other exclusions, and they decided to pull their bid because we're not having the scope going. On HVAC, which is the other second biggest package, next to roofing, is we got 4 bids there as well. American Mechanical Group is right out of Colville. They do a really nice job of working on quite a few school splits. In the past, it would have been real nice to have ACO on both, but for $62,000, I think it's definitely worth going to American Mechanical. And then electrical, thank goodness, Jesse uses Oregon Idaho Electric an awful lot. We try to pull some strings with some of these other guys. They've got to do work this fall, and everybody's just so busy. Is it Ramey? Yeah, Ramey over at Oregon Idaho came through. Got us a real good number. We were a little concerned about maybe that one busting the budget, but at the end of the day, he came in very fair. So, feel good about that. So those numbers, is the ones that are recommended in green, translate over to the base bid section on the final bid results estimate. And so we've got our construction subtotal in there. General conditions looks kind of fat on this job. That is based on just the time in the field for superintendent and all the miscellaneous reimbursables on site. And we have this broke up into 2 phases. We've got a phase this fall to take care of the roofing and the HVAC for a few months, and then we'll end up coming back next summer and have another phase through the summer. So if we were just doing it all during one summer, we could minimize those GCs, but I don't think with the issues that you're dealing with that roof and all that, we want to wait. So. Other than that, yep, have our bonding fees, builder's risk, we'll cover that with Crystal here not too long ago. And we do have a 5% contingency carry there just for any unforeseens that we may run into. So all total, just a little bit over 1.6 million. We do include this just for your big picture, just to have some soft costs. I think Dion was actually waiting on these numbers to get evaluation into Adelaide, and then he would get that permit dealt with as far as the fees. And then we did apply his design fees in there too, just so you can see the big picture. So that is total it. Sit for questions.
Will it be done by the time school starts?
Next summer?
No, what you're doing this summer?
No.
The first phase, right?
We probably sitting here on July 6th, and if we get approval, and we'll get contracts let here over the next week, get the contractors engaged, they'll get all we've got to get our materials into the architect for approval, so we'll get submittals in, they'll order all the materials, but I would expect we'll probably start pretty close to when school starts. That's what it sounds like.
So what do we do for food?
It will not disrupt service.
We won't, with the roof and the HVAC stuff, we'll be able to do that without disturbing the kitchen.
And did the grant pay for most of that?
We're working on what we can pay with the grant on it, and if the scope of the work is enough to talk about the infrastructure of the trusses and those things. And so because it's a seismic rehabilitation grant, and so we're trying to apply that right now. We're not counting on it, but if we can get it to fall under there, then we will.
Do we have other questions?
Don't make it that easy.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on this one, Ryan?
No, and this is actually pretty dang close to where we kind of guesstimated it out about a year ago, and so we're right on track.
15,000 for a fire alarm?
I'm sorry. So we didn't have a bid on that. So there is going to be some fire alarm adjustments we're going to have to make. You have an existing system. There's going to be some duct detectors that we're most likely going to have to replace with these new units. And there was another item. Oh, and there's going to be an interlock in the kitchen hood. So that is just an allowance. That's a placeholder. If it doesn't get
So
spent,
that's a pretty
it'll come back.
expensive.
I expect. And so Oregon Idaho Electric, we talked to him about it, and he thought realistically he'd probably be $8 to $9 grand maybe. We just put it at 15 to make sure we're covered. But if that doesn't get spent, that's your money. So.
Now, the fire alarm system adds up quickly.
They do have to do their own design, submit it to the state, get it approved. It's a deferred submittal, they call it. It's always a design build situation. Ramey said that he'd be happy to work with us on it. He just to be able to get a bid in. There's no way he's going to put a hard bid to it, not really understanding what the scope is. So we'll get that figured out as we get out there and get to working. We'll get that number dialed in, but it will definitely be somewhat less than 15,000.
Jesse, do you have any thoughts on all of this?
I don't. The only thought that I have, Pat, now is
especially on that roof and then mechanical, you got some good competitive numbers, those big numbers, which is nice.
And they can get going on the roofing just,
Yep, we just have to get the materials through it, approved by the architect, and they'll order them as soon as they're here.
Do we need to start ordering some of that stuff for next year now, so it'll be here by next summer, so they can start installing it or whatever, or?
You talking about for this project?
Yeah.
Oh,
like
yeah. No, we will.
kitchen stuff
And
or
that's
whatever
part of
you
why we
want
did
to.
the whole thing now, so we can get all of the cabinetry,
Yeah.
the partition, all the kitchen
Order it now
equipment.
so that it'll be
Get it
here
all
by
ordered
next
so that
summer.
when school's out next year, we're 100% hit the ground running.
And that one does have to be done before school starts, because that.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah,
that's why it's like the last day of
Yeah.
school.
Yep.
But
they're-
if we
get you
order
out
it
the door.
now,
Yes.
we'll place to store it.
We should be in great shape.
Figure it out.
I mean, we don't want cabinets sitting outside.
Oh, no, and
But I
we'll
mean-
set them up to where they get it in their production schedule. We've got to go through a shop drawing process on cabinetry and stuff too, so that takes a little time to get it drawn up, get it submitted, let Dion look at it, make sure everything's good. And then at some point, we'll have them out and do some field measuring before they do their final
So I
pack.
ordered some from Studs and took 9 months,
Oh, man. Yep.
so I know it.
This is why it's a two process.
Well, I'm just saying, you better order them now, so we'll be here by next summer.
Yeah, we are doing, we right now have 13 school renovation projects going this summer. Most of those we bid last fall, and then got it, everything procured through the winter and spring. The summers have just gotten shorter and shorter, and we're really down to where you got about 2 months now. You got June, July, and that's it.
And in days,
Oh, man,
30 days.
it goes fast.
Weekends,
It goes fast.
holidays.
other questions? And
Do we
on
wanna
this,
vote on this to accept kind of all the bids and the proposal so they can go forward?
yeah, that's what I was going to ask. No other questions? Do I hear a motion on the construction bid here?
And all we're looking to get approved is that 1634 number, all the rest of that down below is just for your information.
I propose that we, accept the construction estimate from Benetton Construction Company for the $1.634502. And no cents.
0 cents.
Holding him to that.
A motion has been made, do I hear a second?
Also.
It's been moved by Maribel and seconded by Donnie to accept the construction total bid here of $1,634,502. All those in favor signify by raising your hand. The motion carries. Thank you, and I do appreciate the way you have this all broken out. It's
Absolutely.
a lot easier for me to understand.
No, and that's how we always approach these things, we want to be transparent with that. I think it's important, especially when you're stewards of taxpayer dollars, so if you ever have questions, and I'll plan to come and give you updates as needed too, so.
Appreciate that.
Here Wednesday. Yes, Wednesday morning, I'm gonna bring in, yeah. Okay. You want me to sit for any of the rest of your stuff?
Thank you, sir.
I'm going to turn on the game in my truck driving home.
Yeah, Belgium just scored.
What?
What?
And it's like,
Yeah.
And thanks for dinner.
Take some water and a brownie on the way out.
Take
or-
a brownie.
Yeah.
I've got, no way.
they're pretty good.
Really?
My grandson were home, I would.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks, guys.
We'll now move on to, is there anything else in the
Facilities, Jesse's gonna give his update on,
Everything.
yeah, just kind of where we're at construction wise, just for everyone.
I shouldn't even say anything right now, because it's a case of knocking on wood. Everything is going as scheduled. I feel very comfortable that all the projects will be completed before school starts. Turf, they'll be out here this week. We're gonna be doing some finishing touches on it. track, we did the resurfacing. Now all we need to do is just the restriping of it. And, you know, I want to thank the community for being patient. A lot of these things don't happen most of the time on a schedule, but we have a schedule. The way I see it, and I could be wrong, my goal is to get this all completed for our student athletes, not for people that want to come out here and for public use. I don't want to be rude, but we did stripe this walking path. I do have a sign that's coming out that says 5 laps is equal to 1 mile. So we did stripe that.
The playground looks really nice.
The playground, when it's all completed, we'll go through some photos. We took some pictures of it with the drone. It almost looks fake. It doesn't look real. It's something that you can get out of a magazine, but it does look good. We were able to do both sides. They were, speaking of the playground, they were here today to do some work around some of the areas that we developed some holes where some of the groundwork settled. It's closed off right now, it needs 2 days to cure. We went in, locked the perimeter, put some caution tape, keep people off for at least 2 days so that it cures correctly. And I know it's gonna be busy by the end of the week because we're gonna have Thunder 8 days and we're helping to set that up. So we'll be pretty busy this weekend. Elementary school, new carpet is going in. That should be completed by the end of this week. As far as the deep cleaning of that building, it should be completed by, before teachers may even allow them to come in a little early.
August 10th.
Yes. Bus barn, just waiting on some numbers from a contractor to get us going. There's some electrical work. We won't be using Bennington, that kind of stuff that, you know, I could do in-house because it's not that big of a number. High school restroom, we got numbers from electrical, Treasure Valley. Now we just need some construction. And I'm hoping that we're able to get that completed before school starts this year as well.
If you remember, that was bid out before, and we awarded somebody the contract, but they had some issues. They couldn't fulfill that bid, so we had to redo the process.
Yeah.
So,
That's making
a family.
Family restroom.
Family restroom.
Yeah. Downside is we will be cutting down the boys' restroom in half. I think it's important that we do have a family restroom in there. The science room, going as scheduled. We've had a couple of plumbing issues. We've had to do a couple of change orders. I think it was important. One of the things we did is install some valves so that we can isolate just that area. 2 weeks ago when we had to shut the water, we shut the water to the entire high school, and it also affected the gymnasium. So one of the change orders that we did is install valves so we don't have to, we have practice in the gym, no access to water because they were working on some plumbing stuff. But that is also going on schedule. Then we will be waiting for some windows. But feel good that it would be, they should be installed. I mean, that last screw may be going in as soon as the first bell rings. But for the most part, it'll be 99% completed. Virtual classroom is going really good, and it's on schedule as well. We're creating a home for those teachers. I think it's going to look really nice.
Where will it be?
In the old science room.
By the wood shop,
By the
on
wood
the side
shop.
of Carlton,
Oh, okay.
used to be, yeah. This side of the concessions out there.
Oh.
So,
Middle school parking lot also going good. I mean, 2 weeks. Don't want to say nothing out loud, but everything is going as scheduled.
Do we have that thing built in where if they're not done on time, we bill us money?
Yeah. Yes. We do.
Good.
I think the only one is going to possibly be the windows in the science room, but they're aware of that. our schools should be cleaned, other than maybe the cafeteria, because they'll kind of put some, staging some material in there, but gym floors have been redone. So we're slowly working our way to having everything completed by the first day of school. Feel comfortable right now.
That's huge.
Your crew's been very busy.
Yes.
And Thunder Egg Days,
Under 8 days,
that's a
we'll
lot
help
of
them
extra
set
work
up.
for you guys.
We'll help them set up. We're gonna do the best we can to help them set everything up.
Like the booths and stuff.
Yeah, it's just better that we're there coordinating from an electrical standpoint so that they don't connect something where they shouldn't.
Run over sprinklers. They will anyway, but it's nice to have.
And I did hear the seat to the zip line got fixed.
Correct, it was installed.
One of the
today.
kids are like, Miss Monty, guess what? And I go, what?
Yeah.
The seat got fixed.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I haven't seen it myself, but I did hear from a little kid.
Wait till Wednesday. We'll have it open up
Okay.
on Wednesday.
And a big kudos to
Thank you.
grounds and maintenance, like if you guys look at the grounds, I think it's greener, I mean, the weeds, like all of it's the best it's looked since I've been here, so, thank you, your crew out there that's working the butts off.
Did you hire high school or college kids to help?
Yes,
They used
not
to?
college, well, they're gonna be college kids,
Yeah.
yeah. They're actually helping deep clean in the elementary. They're
Chelsea
shampooing,
did that for 3 years.
shampooing and
Cold
carpets.
Yep.
Good.
Very helpful.
Yeah, this is your busy season during the summer, so
Yeah,
that's
it is.
great.
You know, I think I would say probably be a little relaxed the first day of school because all of our projects will be completed. Then the teaching starts.
Great, great. I'm excited. I mean,
Me too.
it's really neat that all this is being done. And I'm more excited that I'm not the one having to do it.
And it'll be more or less look pretty good for open night for parents, isn't there like a parent open night? Or is that after school starts?
Yeah, it's, no, there's open house, and that's
That's what-
that first week when teachers come back, so.
Okay, so not
Great
one
to-
for parents to come with the kids? Oh, yeah, there is one, because
Yeah.
the names are on the doors.
Yep, we're hoping it'll be, I mean, the middle school would be the only place that we have an issue with, and if the middle school can't open because we can't access that part, then they're gonna be moving to the high school until we already have that worked out, so.
I'm excited to come see what the new, everything
Yeah.
new is that night.
Do
It'd
we
be
need to
nice.
start planning for next year? I mean, like, what's big of next year besides the interior of the cafeteria?
Next year's project my goal would be the auditorium. That's gonna be
New seats and new sounds?
HVAC and re-roof as well.
Oh.
And you can see the dollar amount that came in with this. So with the HVAC, we currently have a closed loop system where we have to add chemicals to run the machines that we currently have. And we are leaking about 1,000 gallons a month.
8,000?
1,000 gallons a month. And we don't know where that leak is coming from. It could be anywhere under the ground. You know, for me, that's why I push not to drive behind the stadium, because all that is underground. That water is underground. And to say where exactly that leak is, it hasn't showed up yet. It might show up one day when we're driving back there. Officer Chief Baloo's driving. There it is. We found it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and this is kind of phasing that out by replacing these HVAC systems in the cafeteria. After this year, the auditorium will be the last, and we'll just not have a loop system anymore.
Is a lot of that related to when we had the original school buildings and?
Yes.
And no one, none of that was ever taken out, it was just.
It's
the
all
fenced
original.
in.
And the previous maintenance supervisor did a fantastic job of getting everything out of the life of those machines.
So you say it's leaking, is it leaking water or chemicals?
Water with chemicals.
Oh, so environmentally or?
No, I mean, this is chemicals, it's to prevent rust just inside the units. But the chemicals are expensive, they're not cheap. So we're basically just throwing that out. So that'll be that'll be my goal for next year. And these units, when you replace one piece, it works like it's supposed to, but the rest of the unit can't keep up with that. And so then we're just basically chasing ourselves to get it fixed. And if you went into the choir room, one of the discussions we have is, can you turn these units down because the buzzing, the humming, is too loud.
So Susie, were you asking if we're gonna start looking into these construction projects so all materials are in and construction can
Well, I
start as
know,
soon
like,
as summer hits?
Or that, but I mean, I just, you know.
We're starting that phase right now, Suzie.
No, I was wondering about our phase 2 of our big plan, or is that gonna be next summer, or?
We're looking to do it. I doubt we'll make that, to be honest with you. With the auditorium needing our immediate attention on there, and then our procurement of the new property, I think we're gonna be out one more year. And so, but we're gonna be going as fast as we can, and it's just really, it's money that's gonna be.
That's
the
more
issue.
what I was talking.
Yeah, so, but we do have all that kind of scoped out, and what happens is, like, the auditorium leaves frogs, everything, it just gets to the front,
Yeah.
so, but,
Because there are 2 classrooms in there too.
yep.
And the auditorium is really a big focus of the
Yeah.
community. So, I'd like to see.
Now that we have theater arts in there, it's used often.
Well, and they are gonna get new seats, is that what you're saying?
Well, we've
That's
got
the
numbers. When we put the numbers
Because I know there was
together.
one in like the second or third row that you sat on the floor.
We have repair kits for those. And we have spent some dollars to repair those. Just spent a couple thousand today to repair those. We got numbers put together, and all we need to do is just put them in a package, and I'll present them to Mr. Hawkins, and we'll go from there.
And I've been looking for sponsors to sponsor a theater program and help replace some of those things in there, lower level, and so we have some, because we have a lot of buzz right now, people want to invest in, like winter, right? So, but yeah, so we're working on all of those things.
I love all these works in progress, don't you?
Yeah. And those are just the big things. There's 1,000 other little things, like all the locks around here, you know, there's just a lot going on, which is awesome.
Any other questions?
This is our oldest building.
But it's probably the one that'll last the longest because it's.
Made of asbestos. And memories.
I didn't even want it to.
Yeah.
Thank you, Josie. Any other items on facilities? Okay, then we'll move on to the budget committee vacancies.
So we have 3 terms that have expired. So, we are needing to advertise for applicants. I did kind of re-spruce up our, application and just information sheet for people. I didn't really change any of the information, just kind of changed the format a little bit. My recommendation is to have the applications due July 31st by 5. That way, we can review at the work session on August 3rd.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take your wife and brown.
Just heard you.
Yeah.
Sorry, what's this called?
Budget committee and.
Score.
I know.
Is it 1-1?
1-1. Tillman score, by the way. 30. And we have letters out to those 3 members actually signing today, so maybe we'll be getting those out.
Okay.
You know, thanking them for their service on there and also encouraging them to reapply. But
Did
we're
you
also.
enclose an application?
And who are the 3 that are, their terms are up?
Stephanie Barnes, John Goddard, and Rose Sullivan. So if everyone is good with that application deadline of July 31st at 5,
That's
I will
great, thank you.
start advertising.
And let looks great to me.
Okay. Perfect.
Bonnie, do you have any comments?
No.
I appreciate all the work that you put in on that application.
You're welcome.
Very nice. Okay. And if one of the budget committee members whose term is expiring, if they choose not to reapply, when do we reopen or begin looking for?
We'll open it now, so
Okay.
if they want to and anyone else,
Okay.
it'll open at the same time. Yeah.
Any other questions on budget committee? And we'll move on to yearly designations.
And so if you guys remember, every year we vote on having our designated chief administrator, legal counsel, all of those things. And so like I said, this is routine that we do in July. So the one on there it is highlighted is we've talked about that general legal counsel, knowing that, you know, Mike Horton's kind of retiring, kind of in this in and out kind of phase. I've reached out to another local law firm, and then we do use Hungerford Law Firm for a lot of our labor relations and educational things. So
Did
that's what's
the
happening.
local one that you reached out to respond, or?
No, because I unfortunately called like 2 hours ago. So it makes sense, but yeah, so I should have something soon for that.
So did you give the local firm that you reached out to a time?
I just left a message, just having me a call back. So.
Okay, is everyone satisfied with having our board meeting on the second Monday of the month at 6 o'clock? No comments?
Yeah.
I guess it's satisfactory.
Yes.
And I know it's not on here, but we will continue to have our work sessions on the first Monday. I find them very productive, and it really does make our regular meeting much faster, and it gives us a chance to go through and figure out if we have questions about something that can be answered at that regular meeting.
The only other thing behind the designations is just Crystal's budget calendar that she proposes, that she will have on Monday for this next year.
For 2028. Crazy, huh? So it begins.
But you won't adopt that until way later, she just proposes it in July.
Yeah.
Are there any other questions about that?
So if we vote on these, we can still change 5 if we decide to.
So we won't vote on these until Monday, so hopefully we'll have an answer by then.
Okay, so we don't have to make a motion on these?
No. It's just so you know what you're voting on Monday, what's in the consent agenda.
If there are no other questions, then we'll move on to the accountability report.
Thank you. Quick. This is a twofold, kind of accountability and a year-end achievement update for the board. So what I'd like to do is review some of our larger academic information for everybody. And so here's what we have. So I, just to put it in context, I put it in cohort information for you. So which means is I took last year's 3rd graders and then compared them to this year's 4th graders. So it's those students kind of moving up and how well they did. So this is on the SBAC or the OSAS. And so if you look, blue is last year, and those same kids and what they did this year. What I want to do is give a big global perspective on how well we've done. If you look, there's only one area, which is right here, which is your 5th grade ELA. They actually did go down, but other than that, in every single level, academic-wise, our district improved, which is the first time since I've been here that we've done that. It's pretty impressive. Yeah, it's amazing.
It's good. It's impressive.
Yeah, it's really impressive.
Was there any reason for that decline in those 5th graders?
And that is something that, and as you know, some of our 5th grade teachers are really mad about that, because we also saw a decline in science, and that's something they've been diving into and saying, what happened? Because what we do is it's not just a, oh no, right? Every marker going up to that OSAS told us that the kids were going to be here, and we'll look at that a little bit, and you'll see one of the markers showed us in winter that they were kind of falling behind, but and so that's why they're diving in. It's like, where did we fail on that? And so that's the good part about it, right? Is we can look at it, we'll look at it and say, this is an area. These kids next year in middle school is going to be something that we need to offset. And I know that Luke and Andrew met today for scheduling because we added in a science teacher and a math teacher saying we need to get in here and help these kids. This is going to be a focus area. So, I mean, all the way through. It's amazing. So, really cool. What I'd like to do is show you our map data. And the map data is, so we do it 3 times a year. Some of them do it twice, and you'll see. But next year, they'll do it 3 times a year. And so what it does is it enables us to track our kids from K through 12. And it's nationally normed data. So what it does is if I say that, this is where Mrs. Ramirez sits, right, on, like, is she part of the 50 percentile or the average kid? Millions of tests go out every year, and so they change it every year for what an average 4th grader or 5th grader does. And so we can really use that to show that our students achieving at adequate levels. So it's achievement and growth, and I highlight that because, like I did with the OSAS, as I showed the kids last year and the kids this year, it's growth that matters. Are kids going? Are they moving? Are they learning? And so what you'll see is a quadrant report, and I think you've seen this before from me, but so that it's in this quadrant. If you see the dot in here, that means high achievement plus high growth. Here means low achievement and high growth. Here is high achievement and low growth. So what I put this through is like the tag kid, right? That started really high, didn't really move much. That's an area of concern. Here is where we don't want kids to live, is low achievement, low growth. Right here is average, right? And so you'll see kind of our numbers. We want to live in these areas. And so I'll show you globally where we are at as a district for achievement and growth. So you see right here, low achievement, right? We were at 37 percentile last year, but we're getting great growth. Low achievement, but great growth. That's one of the areas that we're zoning in on in 3rd grade. Here is ELA, and that's the last one was math. Here's ELA. This is awesome. There's a lot of work. Here we have kindergarten that was tested in the winter and the spring. Probably our designations before has shown our kindergartens usually start behind. Well, this year is actually high achievement and high growth, like 90th percentile. So that's going to be a class we're going to be watching all the way through. So this is kindergarten, where we've said because of our area, poverty, and those things that our kids don't have the preschools. So you guys have invested really heavily in preschools and those kind of things, and we're seeing the fruits of that. Kindergarten again, low achievement, and this is ELA, so math obviously better. Here's ELA, which is awesome. They're right there on the designated. Here's mathematics for K1-2, fall to spring.
Well, kindergarten's doing real good.
I know. Well, look at grade 1. Look
Yeah,
at grade 1
yeah,
is
too.
like
That's impressive.
our K2, and Shane and I, this is the conversations we have, is, you know, because we did our early literacy initiatives, we've been putting a lot of our resources to our K1, 2, and it's showing. Here's our ELA for those guys. Mathematics, we're looking at middle school right now, 6th grade, 6th, 7th, and 8th. And that's that area we saw that didn't grow as much. Some areas of concerns, but in the right direction. ELA, which I think is funny, if you look at our 6th graders in math, this is where they're looking. If you look at ELA, they're up there. Here's mathematics for the high school, 11 and 12. And these are kind of deceiving because, so our 12th graders take math, right? But most of them haven't had math for half of the year because they do Algebra 1, Algebra 2 geometry. So they haven't had math in a while, and then they give it as 12th graders. So a lot of them don't have math up to that point when they're taking it. So there's not a lot of growth there. ELA. Here's mathematics for 9 and 10. It's been a long time since we've seen this. This is our amazing math department. Algebra 1 is usually the gatekeeper to success, and they're doing some cool things there. ELA, that's cool. So I want to springboard that in there to our accountability measures for next year. We know that was passed Senate Bill 141. Put the new accountability measures out there. And so what we had to do was we have to set markers for success. When we see that growth, that's what the accountability measure says, is that kids are going to continue to grow here. And so the key indicators that we have to do are 3rd grade ELA, 8th grade math, regular attendance, 9th grade on track, 4-year graduation rate, 5-year completion rate, and we got to pick one local measure. And we chose career and workforce readiness, our CTE programs. We're saying our CTE programs are amazing, that's what we're going to use to be measured at. And so what they do is they compare us not only to the state, but what they call as clusters. And so here's our grouping cluster. See NISA right here? So these are the districts we are compared to. They say that these are like districts. So it doesn't matter how high or low that we are the state or anybody else. We only get compared to these guys. The state obviously will see it, but if you look, we have Dallas, Crook County, Estacada, Gladstone, Hood River, McMinnville, Newburgh. Ontario is in our group and cluster, Pendleton, Redmond, Scappoose, and Silver Falls. And so that's our group and cluster. So then what we had to do is, last week we met, or 2 weeks ago, at Ad Council, is we made our accountability targets. And so what we had to do, and I'll show you, actually I'll show you the tool. So this is what we used to set our metric. What they said, here's a statewide target, here's similar districts target, and then what we have to do is now set our target in there, and I'll show you what that looks like. I know, it was a fun half day for us. So here is our baseline here, and so what we have to do is, okay, if we're going to grow, because we have to meet this level, so we have to put in what percentage increase we have to do, and then we have closing the gap target, and then there's a gap between all students.
Is that over numerous years, Ryan?
Yes,
Or
so this
just
is
1 year?
starting next year, 26, 27, and then so we should meet this goal by 29, 30. So the state's going to come in and make sure we stay on this trend line. And so if we don't, they'll come in and say, you better improve. If we don't, year 2, they said, we're going to start stepping in. Year 3, we're going to start controlling your spending and help you get kids where they need to be at. So this is what we are, regular attenders. By the 29-30, we'll be at 95%, which is crazy. Our attendance rate is high. It's about 94.5% is our attendance rate, but our regular attenders is actually way lower. That's like 89%. Because what they do is they take anybody who misses more than 10 days, regardless of whatever it is, they become chronically absent and count as a negative on the regular attenders. You guys are right? Not you guys?
No.
No. And so even though our attendance rate is really high, the highest, like I said, it's been in a long time at 94.some%, we're still below 90% of regular attenders.
So a high school student that plays sports, that misses more than 10 days because they play sport every season?
Those would go curriculum, and those wouldn't count there. So anything other than a curriculum, they count. It doesn't, even if it's a doctor's appointment, it still counts.
Okay.
And so any absence. So an absence is an absence is an absence in your mind. So here we are, and then our similar district target by 29-30 is 91.3%. Ours is 95%. So we're saying districts at our level, we're actually going to be blowing them out of the water if we continue this trend. Of course. Shut down OBS. No, don't shut down. No.
You told it okay.
I just wanted to reset. Okay, I'm going to do this verbally for a second while this kind of goes up. So we have K2 regular attenders, then K12 regular attenders, and for the whole districts, we are at 92.4%, which puts us right there at similar districts. The third grade ELA, our goal is to be at 50% by 29-30, which puts us at 0.7% above similar districts. 8th grade math, we're going to be at 44.2, which puts us below similar districts. But what we want to do is we want to make sure we can hit the targets. We could say 100% and miss. We're going to be judged by how well we meet those targets. So we are very mindful of looking at all the data, looking at the spread and the growth in there. And it's funny, is like if you do too little growth, it becomes red. So you do it just right to make it green. And so our 8th grade math, we're at 44.2. 9th grade on track, 95%. Now I know that last year our 9th grade on track was 95.7. So like, are we going down? Then we're going to try to maintain that. So 4-year graduation rate, 95%. 5-year completers, 95% as well. And this one we're working on our career and technical readiness. There was CTE. So they do credits completed, and I forgot how they did the designation of it, but we're going to be at 190 career and workforce readiness, as they call target, where 260 is the similar districts. I think we're calculating it wrong, and so we should actually see in year 1 a different one. So it's how many credits are taken towards the pathway, and they do a percentage on that. So
How many credits in the pathway?
in the pathway. And so our virtual school that's opening up, we're requiring 100% of the students to take CTE approved courses. And so we'll make sure that they reach all those measures as well. Any question about the accountability stuff?
I noticed all those districts were way bigger than our town. So
Some of their schools are bigger than our town.
So how can we be in the same?
So there's a lot of measures. One is enrollment, and when you add in our virtual school, our enrollment numbers are up there. So they look not just enrollment, it's poverty calculation, there's multilingualism, what I'm saying there. So they put in, there's a lot of those measures in there, and then they say, okay, this is what this number is, that's where you guys fit.
So is the virtual school hurting us on this?
I don't think anybody in our group and cluster is going to outperform us on any of those numbers. If you saw where the similar districts numbers were, we're already almost above all of them. So.
That's what I was going to say. I feel like it makes it to a challenge.
And that was our big thing. Yes, exactly. So we'll be on top of that group, which is really cool. And I want to show them.
So this is virtual school and our regular school?
Yep, this is
This
all
is the
district
total.
numbers.
All
Yep.
enrollment.
Oh, okay.
So, and we have to report to the state that we reported these numbers to the community and everything like that. And we're actually one of the first districts to get our numbers into the state, so which is really cool. And if you saw, we went through a process. We didn't just put arbitrary numbers down. It took like a half a day. Kelsey Skinner came from the ESD, and she was amazing, helping us walk through getting, like, really dialing that in to make it appropriate for our town. So, which is cool. Any questions on accountability or achievement? I mean, this is one of those things that there should be fireworks celebration, because it's the work that we did and you guys did in the direction that you guys helped set. It's working. So I want to say thank you, and that's like that beats everything, right? Better than, you know, a state, well, maybe not a state championship, but I mean, it really is. It is amazing, and it's all yours. Thank you for your guidance and direction on that. So anyway, before I get too sappy, that's all I have for that. So thank you.
Ice cream next Monday?
Yes. Oh, don't say that. Oh, the artist is.
Okay, any questions for Ryan? Okay, we'll move on to board goals.
Okay. So that springboards us into the next portion of it, board goals. And this is just for you to help kind of guide you through the process. If you remember our strategic plan with our 4 areas that we set 2 years ago, I put a little sheet out there that says our goal development questions to help you guys come up with a goal in each of those areas, each of the 4 areas, right, which are academic success and academic excellence and student success, employee investment engagement, community engagement and resources, and fiscal and innovation. And so those are the 4 areas. And so talking to Mrs. Morinaka and Mrs. Ramos, is having a board goal in each of those areas is appropriate as we kind of set that direction for the year. And so if you look at it, so if you go to that first goal, which is academic excellence, and so what I was hoping is you guys could take some time on your own and kind of process through this. So in August, we can go through another process to set goals. So the first one is, what do we know from the data, feedback, or observation? So, and this is your current reality. So an academic excellence was something that you know, achieving at higher levels, feedback or observations that you have. It seems that elementary's doing really strong, things like that. You put in there, what progress have we made towards this vision? What is the next important step? So that, again, this is very personal for you guys to work through and just think. Like, you know, I looked at the employee investment. The big one is like, how are we retaining our employees and how are we supporting them? So that might be an area that you want to focus on. So when we come in August, you're ready. It's like this one, I thought that we needed to make a goal on retaining our employees. So pretty simple on that. It's as basic as I could make it to help you guys to start
That's
processing.
a lot of thinking.
So
Yes.
you want us to have this kind of filled out and bring it to the next work session?
Yes, the next one in August. My goal is if we could come through and come up with 4 really good goals, and obviously they might be a little rough, because I want to relay that to our new employees and then our employees when they come back on the 10th and the 13th is the first day. 10th is new employees, 13th is
17th is students.
yeah, so then
What day are you
10th,
ready for?
Is
10th, and then 7th.
7th.
Right. 7th is new employees. 10th is the first day for all staff to be back. I'd like to be able to present that to the staff and tell them, like, the board has worked, you know, on these goals based on this information. So,
When is that first, the big kickoff?
the district kickoff.
Yeah.
And what's the theme?
No, it will be the 10th.
What's the?
The
I'm
10th?
just kidding.
Yes, the 10th. The theme of this year's kickoff is stay the course, right? What we're doing is working. Right now is not the time to, you know, go in left or right. Or like, what we're doing is working. So what we're going to do is we're doubling down on all of those resources and things that's making our kids and learning effective. So it is stay the course.
I like that, with
Yep.
cross country
Yep.
around the corner.
That's what it was, right? But yeah, I mean, you don't deviate from a winning game plan, right? It's working. Obviously, halftime, as the USA will hopefully do, you adapt and change a little bit, you tweak, but you don't change it. And so that's what it is, stay the course.
August 10th, you said?
Yes, August 10th.
And we would be here about 8:30,
Yep.
8:15?
Yeah, 8 o'clock is gonna be breakfast, 8:30 will be the actual meeting kickoff.
Thank you.
And we'll be sharing a lot of that data and talk about strategic coherence in the district and what that means and how we've been working towards it without people knowing. And, but anyway, it'll be really good. So, yeah,
This is a lot of homework.
yes, it is. So, and if you guys want a copy of the academic stuff, just so you could look at to say, hey, what's going well, we're seeing this, I'm more than happy to share it. I think it'll be, I'll just share the PowerPoint with you. So make it really easy.
Any questions for Ryan? Any comments? Other than my comment about it's a lot of homework. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Just process. Well, if you need a break, you have a quinceanera coming up, we get it.
I have nightmares about that already.
I can see why.
Well, you had nightmares a year ago when you first started playing.
Imagine my
I know.
Okay. If there are no other questions, then we will move into executive session. Our executive session is on real estate per ORS 192.660 subsection 2 subsection E to conduct deliberations, negotiate real property transactions. We will probably recess back into regular session in 10 to 15 minutes.